Hello everyone, welcome to a brand new episode of the Sports Insight with your host Alamdar Khan. And as you know, we give you sports information from all across the globe. You guys can surely reach out to us on our social media handle, which is at the rate of Indus News Sports. That works both for Twitter and for Instagram. But anyways, we'll go to the headlines first. And yes, from the world of Kashmir Premier League, yes, it is all set to begin on Friday. And yes, from the world of Olympic basketball, United States defeat Team Australia 97-78 to advance to the Tokyo 2020 men's basketball final. And from the world of shot put in Olympics, yes, American Ryan Crouser beat his own Olympic record to defend his shot put title at Tokyo 2020. And yes, England versus India, first test, which is day one India's, they managed to bowl out England for 183. And yes, those were the headlines, and not to forget that KPL is finally underway. It's going to begin in MUZAFFARABAD cricket ground on Friday, and the first match will be played between Mirpur Royals and Rawalakot Hawks. But not to forget, we would definitely want in-depth analysis of what's truly happening in terms of KPL. And we have with us Mohammad Awais, who is actually a first-class cricketer. Not only that, he is also the bowling coach for Overseas Warriors. And Mohammad Awais, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, sir.
Great. So Awais, first things first, obviously, I think KPL obviously made a lot of noise in terms of, to the world out there. How do you see this? Because I still remember we already had this conversation in terms of how KPL will come into being, and now finally the day and the moment of truth is here. And I think now it is pretty much famous all over the globe right now. So how do you see this in terms of the evolution of cricket, in terms of having it in Kashmir?
Alamdar, one thing, it's good that the Kashmir cricket, especially, I would say, it's getting to be telecast in more than 25 countries, and the real talent of Kashmir would be showcased around the world. And the people, because it's unfortunate that we have been more getting talent from from the other regions of Pakistan. So this one of the regions was neglected, and now this is the right platform for the Kashmiri youngsters to get themselves to perform well in front of the crowd, in front of the televised, the people, and perform, especially give their 100% over them. The one thing what I love is that they would be sharing the dressing room with their superstars of Pakistan team and with the legends like Herschel Gibbs and Tilkar Dilshan. So that's even a learning phase for the Kashmiri youngsters. And the real thing, again, it's joy, a festive season for the Kashmiri people, because the big festival season starts from tomorrow. It's Kashmir Premier League in Muzaffarabad, and a lovely stadium prepared by the KPL management. They need to be applauded over here. So just waiting excited for that.
Right, and how I can definitely see the amount of excitement. To be very honest, I think we all are excited for it. Let's hope all goes well. So in terms of the selection process, I would like to know, as you mentioned, and I was going through the in-depth analysis in terms of the individuals who are taking part. Like you said, that there's so much talent, raw talent there in Kashmir, which will definitely be televised, and they'll get a chance to perform. So what was exactly the perspective, and how people and how those talent reached out to KPL, or KPL reached out to them?
It was, I remember this journey started long back ago, but I was the part of the selection criteria when we had trials in Kashmir. One trial was held in Mirpur, and the other leg was held in Muzaffarabad. The final trial leg was held again in Muzaffarabad. So in Mirpur, I just remember we had around more than 250-300 plus cricketers from around that region, where you had Bimbar, Dadial, the other borderline areas. The children came up to Mirpur. There was in the Mirpur stadium we had trials headed by Azhar Mahmood and Saeed Bhai, and I was myself over there. Then we moved to Muzaffarabad. Muzaffarabad actually is one of the places. It's a capital of Kashmir, and the surrounding. You have got a lot of villages. You have got a lot of other cities. It was jam-packed again over there. So it was a brilliant, I would say, when we watched out the talent, especially what I loved about that talent was about the fast bowling. What you actually need is proper pace fast bowlers. And we saw many raw talent who actually can compete on the highest level, but it's again about the grooming of them. especially about the fast bowlers. Like I remember a guy. He belonged to one of the areas in Neelam. I would say a far-flung area, Taubat called.
Right.
And he never played a professional cricket over there. He was over here for trials, and he consistently. We had a speed gun. I remember he was consistently bowling around 140 clicks. So
Wow.
we asked him that, do you play professional cricket? He said, no, I don't play professional cricket.
Right.
I just play normal tape ball cricket. So that's what we need to find up over here. And the best cricketers were brought up over here. I know it's unfortunate because, we have got less teams. You can't have as many cricketers in this team because you need to have that chunk of what you have 6 teams over here.
Right.
So as inshallah ta'ala year passes on, you'll have more teams, you'll have more people included in the Kashmir Premier League.
Right.
And especially these youngsters, like I told you, because this is a learning phase for them. When they share the dressing room, when
Right.
they have to be coached by the Pakistan senior players like Abdur Razak, you have got Arshad Khan, you have got the legends of Mushtaq Bhai is there with Overseas Warriors. So you have got cricketers who are going to teach them the legends of cricket.
Right.
They have the learning. This is a learning phase for them, and they really need to learn from this and be a strong part of the Pakistan Super League or the Pakistan level.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think this is definitely an interesting thing. And I would also want to talk about, because I'm also reading a draft that actually states some overseas Kashmiris who are also taking part in the emerging category. So how did they reach out to the KPL perspective? Because like you said, Taubat, I know Taubat is like the end of Kashmir. I've been there myself. I think it's a beautiful place. But like you said, talent like these come up. But even from Taubat, if we look into those talents, which I can see based in maybe the UK or different parts of the world or even Canada, because that's what I see, how did they reach out to you?
Alamdar, there was a process when I told you, because it was even online registration was even done for the Kashmir Premier League who are interested to be. It was unfortunate due to COVID-19, the travel bans
Right.
even did. I would say there was some tough periods for us, but there were many, I would say, highlights. There were many videos being shared so that the coaches could have looked that he's a strong candidate who can represent in the Kashmir Premier League.
Right.
Many cricketers from the county circuit, because they belong from Pakistan. In UK, you have a lot of Kashmiri community who actually play professional cricket from the Surrey counties or from the Kent counties.
Right.
From Australia too, you have got many cricketers over there. So it was, believe me, the first edition was a jam-packed for us as a selection criteria.
Right.
And again, like I told you, because this is the first edition, you have got 6 teams. We have tried a level best how many players we could have fit in it. But it's, again, I would say it goes on, inshallah, because we want this Kashmir Premier League to go on every year, because this is the perfect time for the Kashmiri youth, especially, I would say, and a positive answer to the world that what's going on in this Kashmir. We are promoting peace. And I would request again from your platform, see, this is cricket. It was unfortunate whatever happened from the BCCI,
Right.
because you don't need to get cricket involved in the politics.
Right.
It was unfortunate again. But at last you have got Dilshan and Herschel Gibbs coming up in that area where actually, again, I would say, because they have not got much I would say many players don't visit in that areas, but this would be a great opportunity for the spectators
Right.
and for the youngsters to learn on.
Well, to be honest, that's a very valid point, to be honest, what you said, talking about BCCI and the situation that actually emerged. Because ultimately it is sports, and I think sports is probably, it has nothing to do with politics or any other aspects to it. And I think people were using it, and I think the biggest pro that we got, or KPL got, was free marketing all across the globe in terms of people talking against it.
See, I remember when the Kashmir Premier League started on, Alamdar, when Pakistan Super League started, I remember even I was the one who was actually saying on that this would be a flop, it won't last because this is a Pakistan league and it is unfortunately being played outside Pakistan.
Right.
When Kashmir Premier League started on, many of them said this would be a flop league. No cricketers would obviously come to it because you have another league, and how can another league start in Pakistan? But if you just watch out the propaganda, what unfortunately was done by the BCCI,
True.
It actually created the Kashmir Premier League to get hype around the world. Now it's one of the most hyped cricket league around the world. Everyone is talking about this league. Wherever even if you switch on your Twitters, even if you switch on your Instagram,
Right.
Many people are talking about this. Everyone is talking about it, and it's going to be telecast in more than 25 countries. And one more thing that, because even every viewer knows that, and I need to tell that after Brisbane, you have got, this is the only stadium in the world which has got actually the newest technology of lights.
Nice.
It's a big thing for the Kashmiri people, for the people over there, and even I personally, because I have been over there in Muzaffarabad, and I'm as a part of a team. And I would request the Pakistan Super League that, if possible, we really need to conduct some Pakistan Super League matches over here, because this is one of the stadiums which would make a remark in the world as one of the beautiful stadiums in the world.
Yeah, absolutely. We would surely want that, and I'm glad that you've updated us and the viewers about it. And talking about good things, if you look into Pakistan right now, obviously, in terms of the whole perspective of in terms of PCB and all the teams, they're trying to engage and bring in more teams. Like we can also discuss that New Zealand has actually planned to come to Pakistan for the first time in 18 years. So I think slowly and gradually we see a lot of progress. And how do you see the Kiwis touring to Pakistan? Because it surely would be another interesting take in terms of the world of cricket.
This is a big breakthrough for the isolation what Pakistan unfortunately has gone through. I mean, slow and steady, the fruit is coming up. Right. You're getting the fruit what Pakistan Cricket Board actually laid, and the Pakistan Super League especially, I would say, because one of the leagues around the world which has made a peace mark for the world, that Pakistan is, alhamdulillah, safe country now. Right. You can travel up over here. You have seen many foreign cricketers visiting up over here, especially, right. I would say, when the foreign tourism has actually grown in Pakistan.
Absolutely.
So this is the right time, and it's a big breakthrough for the isolation that New Zealand are touring Pakistan almost, I think so, after 12 or 18 years.
18 years, yes.
Wrong.
After 18
years. So it's a big breakthrough for Pakistan, and I was reading out the New Zealand Cricket Board even were excited to visit Pakistan. So it's a great initiative, because Martin Guptill did play the Pakistan Super League in Pakistan. You had Colin Monroe over here, so obviously they would have told the batchmates that it's one of the safest country and it's one of the beautiful countries where we can play cricket. So it's a great initiative for the Pakistan Cricket Board, and all the best for the Pakistan-New Zealand series.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for being a part of the show. Good luck to you, good luck to KPL, and good luck to all the upcoming events, hopefully in terms of making a better and peaceful Pakistan. Thank you.
Thank you. Allah Hafiz.
So that's Mohammad Awais, and obviously he gave us an in-depth analysis, but not to forget that it will start from Friday, and the first match is between Mirpur Royals and Rawalakot. Shoaib Malik will be leading the Royals at the match, and Rawalakot Hawks will be captained by Shahid Afridi. So let's hope all goes well. We're looking forward for that. Anyways, we'll take a quick break. Once we get back from the break, there is more coming in from the world of sports. See you guys after the break. And yes, welcome back from the break. And yes, before the break, we were discussing KPL, but not to forget, we discussed all sorts of sports. But yes, we'll surely jump into the world of Olympics that is still underway. And talking about Olympics, obviously, if we look into the journey in terms of basketball, right now we know the United Team USA is now there in the finals. So interestingly, we want to discuss more in-depth analysis of how things are shaping up, not only for them, but the rest of the teams. We have with us Ruth all the way from US. Ruth, welcome to the show.
Hello. Thank you for having me back.
Pleasure. So Ruth, I'll start off with the journey of Team USA to begin with. We'll firstly discuss how they managed to get where they are, and not to forget, Kevin Durant is trending all across the globe right now. He scored 32 points and 9 rebounds against Australia, but he is the first USA men's basketball player to pass the 400-point mark in the Olympics. So how do you see this journey to begin with?
Well, it definitely didn't start off in the right foot. Definitely with that opening game against France, the U.S. had some trouble getting some chemistry offensively, and their defense just wasn't what we are used to seeing these players on their individual teams. You're talking about Drew Holiday, Bam Adebayo, and players like that are very efficient defensively, and they seemed like they were almost shaking off some rust in the beginning. So I'm glad that the U.S. team has made it this far. Kevin Durant, as you alluded to, has been a very huge key piece to their success in the past few weeks, and it's amazing to see them in the finals that is going to be tomorrow. I'm really excited to see who is going to be their matchup, but let me tell you, when the Olympics first started, people were already counting out the men's U.S. team for winning gold, so I'm glad that they're at this position now.
Right, and looking back into how it all started, like you said, it seemed quite rusty, and we did not see the best of the best, because I remember them losing to France. And it would be very tricky if we probably see them facing France, maybe. Let's see, maybe time will tell. But, the rust part now is gone. I think now it's all about the chemistry. I think in the initial games only had that one specific problem in terms of that, they were superpower, star power, but they were not gelling in well.
Yeah, I mean, it's really difficult when you get a lot of all-star players on one team, especially after an NBA season of them battling each other. They had definitely different styles of play, but
Right.
Greg Popovich is an amazing coach, and I mean, it's written, it's in the proof is in the pudding. He's won NBA championships with the San Antonio Spurs, so I had faith that he was going to be able to get the offense going for the U.S. men's team, and I mean, it's been exceptional. Last night's blowout win against Australia, almost winning by 20 points.
Right.
It's pretty exciting time for men's Olympics team.
Right, but if we look into the preliminary rounds, to be precise, the one that I was talking about, even though France won that game, it was 83 for France and 76 for the United States. And I think everybody all across the globe, in terms of all the NBA fans out there, they were like, what, why, how can this happen? How can, Team USA not be the best? And people were even suggesting and saying, it would have been better if we had sent Milwaukee Bucks to perform. But my question is, now do you see, are they out there, and do you think they will surely be at the point of getting the gold?
Yeah, I think right now they have that momentum building, especially offensively. Devin Booker is in sync with KD, and it's just a beautiful thing to watch. We have players like Zach LaVine from the Chicago Bulls that has been outstanding for the Olympics teams as well.
Right.
It just seems that they're gelling at the very right time. They're making it into the finals, which no one expected going into, after losing to such a dominant team like France. Having a player like Evan Fournier, who used to play for the Orlando Magic, I covered him for a couple of seasons,
Right.
went off for France during that first matchup. And I feel like his style of play is what led him to get that long-term deal with the New York Knicks, because free agency also has just completed, and there's been a lot of big key pieces in the NBA moving around. So yes, it's just a great time for U.S. basketball, and the women's team is also playing just as well.
Right, absolutely. And the part about Olympics right now is, from how I see it, is literally the oneness. And I think all these players who are facing, for instance, KD, when we talk about Kevin Durant, obviously all these players out there always see them playing in the world of NBA. And now all these players have a chance from different countries to come play with them. So I think that's also one of the inspirations to see how Olympics have actually gelled in all the players from all across the globe under one roof.
Right. And it's still amazing to see other players like Luka Doncic, that's playing for his team as well, for Slovenia, having success as well. And
Right.
I mean, we have Giannis Antetokounmpo that joined the Greek squad, and it's just great to see these NBA players playing in our home courts and then joining their countries to represent them in the Olympics. And congratulations to the U.S. men's team for knocking out Spain for the basketball tournament
Right.
for the 5th Olympics in a row. So
Right.
the U.S. team has been a thorn in the side of Spain, and after Ricky Rubio's amazing performance the other day, it was really hard to see Spain lose the way that they did after Ricky Rubio put up such a phenomenal performance, scoring 38 points against the U.S. team.
Right, and even if we talk about all the teams right now, if we talk about France obviously defeated Italy 84-75 to reach the semifinals. And this is going to be the first time since 2000 that in Olympics they have reached this far. So right now, I think all the teams who are actually struggling to get the gold will not make it easier for each other to let go of the gold.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be a great matchup. I believe it's Slovenia and France that are playing right now in the semifinals.
Right.
So the U.S. team will go on to play either of those teams, and I'm hoping that it's Slovenia. I want to see the Luka Doncic, Devin Booker matchup.
Right.
I think those two are the youngest, most electric players in the NBA right now. So I would love to see the matchup between USA and Slovenia.
Right,
But we're gonna have to wait and find out, because I believe that they might be in halftime right now.
Right.
So
we'll surely find that, and hopefully, like you said, Slovenia. Obviously, Slovenia is on the dot if you look into how they took their journey. So I think, like I said, they have also come a long way. So I think having a serious battle between the two solid teams in terms of getting the gold, I think it would be an amazing watch as well.
yes, I couldn't agree with you more. I'm very excited for the Olympics right now. China is leading with 33 gold, and U.S. is right behind them with 27. So I'm hoping after tomorrow's game, the U.S. men's Olympic team will be able to raise that gold medal.
Right. Well, Ruth, thank you so much for being a part of the show and discussing the world of basketball with us. All the best. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for having me. Have a great day.
So that's Ruth, and obviously she talked about how things have progressed so far for Team USA to begin with. And yes, it's going to be super interesting to see what truly happens in terms of the basketball finals. But anyways, I'll quickly give an update with regards to the world of shot put. Yes, Ryan Kauser actually beat his own Olympic record to defend his shot put title. And the last, throw that he did for shot put was 22.47, but right now he has reached to a point of 23.30 in his final attempt at Tokyo 2020. So I think breaking his own record is also an amazing, and we wish him the very best in terms of his performance. Not only that, and New Zealand's Thomas Walsh claimed the bronze with 22.47. So I think we need to see how they work hard for this moment to get the golden glory for not only for themselves but also for their country. Anyways, a quick update with regards to England versus India Test Series. Yes, talking about the first day one, India, obviously it's currently England bowled out for 183. So it is getting tricky with regards to the bowling side. Obviously, England being bowled out at 183 is not something that we usually expect. India were 21 for no loss. So the thing is, it still is, end of day one. So let's see how it progresses ahead in terms of that. And Joe Root won the toss and opted to bat to begin with. And Joe Root actually scored only 64 runs. So let's see how things progress. And as soon as it does, we will definitely update you guys. And you guys can surely reach out to us on our social media handle, which is @officeNewsSports. That works both for Twitter and for Instagram. But anyways, take good care of yourselves and bye-bye.